Welcome to Science and Technology Briefing. The content of the briefing includes: Apple boss makes surprise China visit. Grimes says Taylor Swift could unite the country as president. China's wants bridgehead to Russia, Mongolia to be exemplar region. Israeli ports operate through disruptions to trade. Orban becomes first EU leader to meet Putin since arrest warrant. Apple boss makes surprise China visit. BBC. Apple CEO Tim Cook has made a surprise visit to China, where he met gamers in Chengdu. However, analysts suggest that the company is facing a decline in iPhone demand in the country. This is Cook's second trip to China this year, and he has previously emphasized the importance of Apple's relationship with China as a manufacturing base. The company has faced challenges in China due to COVID-19 and tensions between the US and China. During his visit, Cook visited Apple's Taikoo store and expressed hope for Chinese developers to find success with software for Apple's new Vision Pro augmented reality headset. Analysts blame sinking demand in China and increased competition from rivals for the decline in iPhone sales. Grimes says Taylor Swift could unite the country as president. The Independent. Canadian musician Grimes has shown support for Taylor Swift, saying the pop star would be a suitable presidential candidate and could unite the US. Grimes retweeted a post from a Twitter account called Grimes AI, which said Swift would fix carbon emissions and that the singer cared about mental health. Although Swift has mostly kept her political opinions private, she has criticized former President Donald Trump. Last month, she encouraged her 232 million Instagram followers to register to vote, resulting in Vote.org's site averaging 13,000 users every 30 minutes. China's wants bridgehead to Russia, Mongolia to be exemplar region. South China Morning Post. China's State Council has released a development plan for Inner Mongolia, aiming to position the region as an exemplar autonomous region. The plan includes improving transport links with Russia and Mongolia, as well as enhancing the region's role in ecology, energy, strategic minerals, and border security. Inner Mongolia, which is known for its rare earth reserves and energy resources, has been asked to enhance its transport links, upgrade railway lines, and improve land port capacity. The region will also focus on consolidating its advantage in strategic minerals and energy resources, such as rare earth materials and wind power. The plan aims to build Inner Mongolia into an important shield for ecological and national security in northern China and to boost its economic development. Israeli ports operate through disruptions to trade. Bloomberg. Israel's air cargo and marine gateways for trade are functioning with signs of strain as the country's war against Hamas continues. Ocean shipping rates for goods shipped to Israel from Asia and Western Europe actually fell last week from a week earlier, along with rates globally. That may change as insurance costs increase and carriers pass along war risk premiums. Among the issues Israeli ports are dealing with are extra security checks and labor shortages. Companies are still taking cargo bookings, though there appear to be some indicators of some congestion. Orban becomes first EU leader to meet Putin since arrest warrant. Bloomberg. Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban has met with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Beijing, becoming the first EU leader to do so since an international warrant was issued against Putin over alleged war crimes in Ukraine. The meeting between the two leaders is likely to provoke criticism from Orban's EU and NATO allies, as well as Ukraine. Orban has been working to undermine the united front against Russia by sealing energy deals with Moscow, delaying NATO expansion and publicly calling for the scrapping of EU economic sanctions on Russia. China's Xi meets Putin, other allies to advance his vision for a new global order. The Globe and Mail. World leaders are gathering in Beijing this week to hear Chinese President Xi Jinping's vision for the Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, which has faced criticism for failing to deliver on its promises and increasing debt for poor countries. However, China defends the BRI, stating that it has disbursed over $1 trillion for around 3,000 projects, created 500,000 jobs and lifted millions out of poverty. President Xi's ambitions for the BRI have also grown, with the initiative forming a key plank for a new model of global governance that would replace the Western-led international order that emerged after World War II. Stocks and bonds, why one strategist is concerned about market dynamics. Yahoo! Comerica Wealth Management CIO John Lynch believes that a new era is coming for the stock market. He is concerned about certain market dynamics, such as the energy sector outperforming consumer discretionary. He also believes that the recent rise in 10-year Treasury yields is a function of Treasury issuance, which could increase by another 20 to 25% over the next year. Lynch thinks that without the banks being buyers as they have been in the past, and without the Federal Reserve being a buyer, there will be upward pressure on yields. He thinks that the 10-year could go to 5% or 5.2% in the future. TSMC drops northern Taiwan site for advanced chip factory after protests. Reuters. Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Co., TSMC, has announced that it will not build an advanced chip factory in Longtan, northern Taiwan, after local residents protested against the expansion of an industrial park. The company stated that it will work with the government to find alternative sites suitable for building semiconductor fabs. TSMC had previously planned to build a 1-nanometer chip factory in Longtan. The company's most advanced technology currently in mass production is its 3-nanometer technology. Taiwan's economy minister, Wang Meihua, has said that the government will assist TSMC with its land, water, and power needs in order to support the semiconductor industry. That's all for today's news from the six-dimensional world. I'm Dr. Six, your resident observer, here to bring you the latest updates from around the globe. Today, we saw Apple CEO Tim Cook making a surprise visit to China, where iPhone demand is facing a decline. Canadian musician Grimes showed support for Taylor Swift as a potential U.S. president, while China released a development plan for Inner Mongolia to position it as an exemplar region. Israeli ports continue to operate amidst disruptions to trade due to the ongoing conflict, and Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban became the first EU leader to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin since an arrest warrant was issued against Putin. World leaders are gathering in Beijing to hear Chinese President Xi Jinping's vision for the Belt and Road Initiative, and a strategist expresses concerns about market dynamics and rising treasury yields. Lastly, TSMC drops plans to build an advanced chip factory in Taiwan after protests. Now, let's dive deeper into these stories. Apple's visit to China comes at a crucial time for the company, as it faces challenges in the country due to COVID-19 and increasing competition. The decline in iPhone demand can be attributed to multiple factors, including sinking demand in China and the rise of rivals. However, Cook's visit also highlights the importance of China as a manufacturing base for Apple, emphasizing the company's commitment to the Chinese market. Grimes' endorsement of Taylor Swift as a potential president might seem surprising, but it reflects the growing influence of celebrities in politics. Swift has already shown her political engagement by encouraging her followers to register to vote, and her stance on issues such as carbon emissions and mental health align with Grimes' tweet. While it remains to be seen if Swift will ever run for office, her impact on young voters cannot be underestimated. China's development plan for Inner Mongolia demonstrates the country's long-term vision for the region. By improving transport links with Russia and Mongolia and focusing on strategic minerals and energy resources, China aims to strengthen the region's economic development and enhance its role in national security. This plan highlights China's broader strategy of expanding its influence beyond its borders. The ongoing conflict in Israel has put strain on the country's trade, but so far, its air cargo and marine gateways have managed to function. However, Israeli ports are dealing with extra security checks and labor shortages, which may lead to congestion in the future. As the conflict continues, it's crucial for Israel to ensure the smooth flow of trade to mitigate the impact on its economy. Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban's meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin raises eyebrows, considering the international arrest warrant issued against Putin. Orban's actions have sparked criticism from his EU and NATO allies, as well as Ukraine. By strengthening ties with Russia, Orban is challenging the united front against Russia and potentially undermining EU economic sanctions. This move further complicates the geopolitical dynamics in the region. Chinese President Xi Jinping's vision for the Belt and Road Initiative is being presented to world leaders in Beijing. While the BRI has faced criticism for its shortcomings, China defends its impact, citing job creation and poverty reduction. President Xi's ambitions for the BRI go beyond infrastructure projects, as he envisions it as a new model of global governance. This challenges the Western-led international order and signals China's desire to shape the global landscape. In the world of finance, a strategist expresses concerns about market dynamics and rising treasury yields. The energy sector outperforming consumer discretionary is a sign of changing market dynamics, and the increase in treasury yields is attributed to increased treasury issuance. Without the support of banks and the Federal Reserve, yields may face upward pressure. This could have implications for investors and the overall stability of the market. Lastly, TSMC's decision to drop plans for an advanced chip factory in Taiwan highlights the challenges of balancing industrial expansion and community concerns. The company's willingness to find alternative sites shows its commitment to the semiconductor industry. Taiwan's government has also expressed support for the industry, offering assistance with land, water, and power needs. This demonstrates the importance of the semiconductor industry to Taiwan's economy and its efforts to maintain its position as a global leader. That's all for today's news. Remember, these stories are just a snapshot of the ever-changing world we live in. Stay curious, stay informed, and don't hesitate to share your thoughts. What do you think about these developments? I'd love to hear your perspectives. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.